Today we're taking a look at the technology in the dashboard of the 2019 Mercedes-Benz CLS450. And the first thing you'll notice are these dual massive 12.3-inch displays we've got in front of me on a single slab of black glass. Now, this looks like the newest generation of Mercedes-Benz's COMAND system that it inherits from the S-Class, but it's not the very newest bleeding-edge MBUX system that will debut on the CLA. So basically the same stuff we had in the S-Class, which is pretty good. Now, they aren't touch-sensitive screens, so keep your greasy fingers off of the glass, but there is a lot of touching to be done down below. And that's because we have this sort of command system that gives us the command controller that you'll use to move around through the interface, as well as a command touch system that gives you a haptic feedback ability to sort of swipe around the system using touch controls. You've also got these shortcut buttons along the bottom flanking the clock that take you very quickly to the main parts of the interface. Now, while we're on the home screen, let's talk about what we have here. This is a refresh of the command interface in the CLS. And it has these large icons that sort of give you a very top-level look at the many functions that it offers. There's a bit of a learning curve. I mean, it seems simple at first, but then you get to a little bit of a steepness in that curve when you try to find functions like Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. But once you get past those little bits of quirks, those Mercedes-Benz quirks, it is pretty easy to use. One thing that I really like is this favorites menu along the bottom that allows you to save whatever sort of functions that you like to use most often so that you don't have to go digging through menus to find them. Popping into the navigation, you'll see that we have the ability to take advantage of this massive screen with a large map that gives traffic information, and it looks pretty good. There's also pretty good voice command as well. And we have a wide range of media sources ranging from Bluetooth hands-free for calling and audio streaming. We've got 3 USB ports in the center console here, as well as an SD card slot. Now, one of the things that I really like about this car is that it makes it really easy to Bluetooth pair your phone. If you pop open the cup holder, you'll see that there's an NFC point right here. And if you unlock your phone and just sort of hold it to it for a second, it will automatically send a request to pair with your phone and then get you set up on the pairing. And then you just tap one button and you're ready to go. There's no searching through menus for the right part of the phone setting for Bluetooth pairing. You just tap and go, which is good if you have a lot of different phones in your family. Of course, the way that I like to interact with this most is with Android Auto. Now, if you connect it via USB and you pop into the Connect menu, Android Auto will automatically start up. That's going to give you access to your Google Maps and a wide range of audio streaming apps. Now, one thing that I will point out is that the touch controller here doesn't work with Android Auto. So you'll have to use this sort of control knob here. And I assume that it works the same way with Apple CarPlay. Now, that's all on the main screen right here, but directly in front of us we have an identical display that is used as a digital instrument cluster. You control that with this sort of touchpad on the steering wheel that allows you to swipe around and gain access to certain things like your turn-by-turn navigation, as well as viewing your current audio source. You can even pop in here and change the design of it a little bit to vary it between a more sporty look, a little bit of a classy look or a techie look, to something a little bit more conservative. Now, there are 2 touchpads on the steering wheel here. They're just these little nubbins, and you use those to sort of swipe around through this interface. But there's a second one here that you can also use to control the main interface over on the second display. So you can kind of swipe around and control things on it, much like you could with the touchpad down here on the center. And that allows you to pretty much access the entirety of your COMAND infotainment system without ever taking your hands off of the wheel. That's really nice. Now, one more thing before we go. It's going to be my favorite feature in any luxurious Mercedes-Benz is going to be their Energizing comfort system. If you pop over into the vehicle menu, it's going to allow you to access a group of presets that tie into everything from the seat massagers to the ambient lighting, maybe even to a certain playlist that you've got saved on a USB drive. And it allows you to set a refreshing or a warm or an energizing mood in the car that sort of sets the tone for how you want to go driving. And when you're at nighttime and you put it in warmth mode and all of these lights turn sort of a bright red, it is nice and homey. So there's been your look at all of the technology in the dashboard of the 2019 Mercedes-Benz CLS, but we haven't even scratched the surface of all of the features this car offers. So be sure to check out our full review over on theroadshow.com to see what it's like to actually drive this thing.